From strange customizations of your car to singing happy birthday, stay tuned to number 1 to find out 10 everyday things we do that are actually illegal. Number 10. Your rear view mirror. Let's start out with one that is technically rather harmless, but is actually very much illegal. In your car, you often like to add items to it so that you can make it personalized, but obviously you only have so much room on the outside and inside to do so. On the inside of the car, you might think of putting an item under your rear view mirror, something like an air freshener or a shiny little knick-knack, something along those lines. I'm sure you've seen plenty of people that do that over time, but the problem is, that's illegal. Why is it illegal? Because the police don't want anything in the area of your rear view mirror that could distract you. Not just from driving, but from looking at your rear view mirror, because you're supposed to check it somewhat often as you drive, including when you're passing. But if there's something there to distract you, police fear that you won't look at it long enough before diverting your eyes to the other item that's under it. Maybe you just like it a lot. Again, not the biggest illegal thing people do, but yeah, it is illegal to do it. So be careful out there. Number 9. Singing happy birthday. Surprised? This one is actually a bit simpler than you think, and some of this has changed over time. You see, the song Happy Birthday is one that was legally protected by copyright, which means that singing any of it in public is an illegal act, because you did not get the permission from the owners of the rights to the song to sing it. Which means that every day, someone out there is in fact performing copyright infringement. Now, to be fair, the common man didn't have anything to fear here, as it was a major music company of sorts that owned this copyright, but other people, like musicians and movie makers, many of them were actually sued for using this song in their bits, acts, or films, which is hilarious if you really think about it. Once the act of suing started though, people fought back, and now Happy Birthday to You is a public domain track, which means that finally, no one has to worry about not singing it in public. Still, for a very long time, people were singing it illegally, and that's a birthday gift no one wants. A lawsuit. Number 8. Downloading media from the internet. Before we talk about the modern act of piracy, take a moment to like this video and join the Zero to Hero community by using the buttons below. Okay, granted, not all media downloads are illegal, as there are plenty of things you can download from the internet for free and without issue. What I'm talking about here is something that we have all likely done in one form or another at one point in our lives. Mainly, illegally downloading music, TV shows, and movies from the internet onto our computer. This all really started with music, as listeners wanted to have their favorite tracks on their laptop or PC, but didn't want to pay for it. So things like Napster, LimeWire, and Torrent arose to get you what you wanted. And then people realized, hey, if we can do this with music, we can do it with TV shows and movies. So suddenly, TV shows and movies started popping up on illegal download sites, and naturally people raced to them so that they could download them. A large majority of computer users have, at one time or another, downloaded something illegally. Or, in a modern twist, you've all streamed something that you shouldn't have been able to do, such as watching a live stream of a pay-per-view that you didn't pay for, or a movie premiere that you'd just rather watch from home. It's easy, it's convenient, and it's illegal. Number 7. Using public Wi-Fi. This one is a bit tricky because it's not always illegal to do this, but in many places it is. Simply put, Wi-Fi is something that helps make the world go round in a bunch of ways. Not the least of which is because we all use the internet every day, non-illegally, for various purposes. And when our phones aren't in range of our own internet services or approved towers, we need Wi-Fi to get to the internet. So the option of Wi-Fi is there to use, but if you find a public network that you don't pay a service fee to access, you probably shouldn't connect to it just yet, because most public networks are ones that are paid for by someone else. And thus, if you don't ask to use it before hopping on, you're committing the piggybacking crime, which can be punishable by a fine as well as jail time in certain areas. It's no joke either. A man from Michigan was in his car when he wanted to check his emails. He was near a cafe who had a public Wi-Fi connection, so he connected to it and checked his email. The cafe found out and pressed charges. He was on it for mere minutes, and he got a $400 fine and 40 hours of community service. Number 6. Eating food you haven't bought yet. You're at the supermarket buying your weekly groceries, and you look down at a piece of food. Let's say it's a bag of grapes. And you realize that one of them is sticking out of the bag, so you go down, pick it off, and you plop it into your mouth. Congrats! You're a thief. I know that may sound harsh, as it was just one grape, but that's the truth of the matter. If you eat a piece of food before you buy it, that means you're a thief, as it wasn't yours to eat. Sure, there are some people who might be lenient towards this, like if you know the person behind the register at a gas station, and some stores could be lenient if you save the wrapper with the intent to pay. But for most places, they can press charges because you stole food in the very literal sense. It may be tempting to do and feel like you're doing nothing wrong, but just go ahead and buy the food and then eat it in your car. It's only a few minutes difference and you'll save yourself a lot of hassle. Number 5. Using copyrighted material online. Generally, it's obvious that you shouldn't use copyrighted material in a manner that can get you into trouble. But when it comes to the digital world of the internet, it's a bit more complicated than that. You see, if you go to Google and download an image, that's fine 99% of the time, but then you go and you use some of those images for things like making a news article on a website or posting certain things on Facebook or making a video for a YouTube channel. You could be breaking copyright law. Again, it's something that's very tricky and very few people actually get busted for this because at times it's never truly clear what's an officially copyrighted image and what isn't. Still, when it comes down to it, you may be committing a crime by using these images beyond what they were meant to be used for. Number 4. Using a fake name online. To be clear, I'm not talking about a username for a forum for various fun websites like that. Rather, I'm talking about when you go to a site to sign up for something and you decide that you don't want your name attached to it for some reason. So you come up with a fake name like John Smith or Jane Brown or something of the like so that if someone saw the purchase you made or somehow saw you on a forum, they wouldn't know it was you. It sounds harmless, but that's actually an illegal act. Specifically, it's a violation of the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act, where it states you can't put a false name attached to an account. People have actually been charged with doing this crime and penalized for it. Number 3. Jaywalking. Ah yes, the classic, jaywalking. Who cares about how you're supposed to cross the street, right? The shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line anyway. So why not just shoot the diagonal and get to where you need to go faster, or skip the extra 500-foot walk to the crosswalk and play Frogger in traffic, right? Wrong. It's literally illegal to do this. The only difference is that where you live will determine whether you get a ticket for it. Los Angeles, for example, is rather notorious about harping on jaywalkers. But hey, it's illegal, so you do the crime and you do the time. Number 2. Texting or calling while driving. Yes, I know this wasn't always illegal, but it 100% is now. And yet I can't go to places without people getting onto their cell phones and either texting and driving or making a call while driving. As proven by many science experts and broken down in great detail on Mythbusters in 2 separate episodes, if you focus on your phone while either texting or driving, you are removing your eyes from the road and thus you are more likely to get into a car accident. That is a fact. Now, there are some ways around it, like using a Bluetooth connection or getting a phone jack for your stereo, or using a holder for your phone when you want to call. In fact, this is how rideshare services are able to do their thing. But if you don't do that, you're breaking the law and they will bust you for this. Not to mention, it's just not safe. Number 1. Speeding. Come on, you know you do this. Some of the previous 9 entries, I bet some of you could say, honestly, that you don't do it. And good for you. But when it comes to speeding? Yeah, anyone watching this who has a car or motorcycle has done it. Not because they're trying to be jerks or speed demons or trying to go as fast as they can, but rather because speeding is sometimes so easy that you don't even realize you're doing it at times. There are many vehicles out there that don't have cruise control, or people just don't want to use it. Therefore, you have to try and push the foot pedal in just the right way so that you can get the pressure needed to go the desired speed. But if it's not just right, or you start to go downhill, you'll start to accelerate, and before you know it, you're speeding. Or for many of us, we just want to go that extra few miles per hour. Many people wrongly think that there's a grace period in terms of being over the speed limit. I mean, technically they're right. If you're going 71 in a 70 mile per hour zone, for example, very few cops would bust you. But some people take it as a 5 mile per hour grace zone, and that's what gets them in trouble. So be mindful of how fast you're going. That way, you don't get a speeding ticket. Which one of these illegal acts have you done? Let us know in the comments below. We promise we won't turn you in, and take care.